Hello, my loves. I'm Venus Morrigan, and today we're going to explore something truly fascinating, the psychology behind male desire. So many people assume that male sexuality is simple, that it's purely biological, driven only by hormones and instinct. But in reality, male desire is deeply complex, influenced by emotions, experiences, and even subconscious patterns that most men never stop to question. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support means everything, and it helps us continue these important conversations. Now, let's unravel the truth about male desire. For years, society has told us that men are supposed to be creatures of constant, effortless arousal. That desire should always be present, like a switch that never turns off. But in truth, male desire is not mechanical. It's emotional, psychological, and shaped by a lifetime of experiences. It's not just about testosterone levels or visual stimulation. It's about self-perception, confidence, connection, and even the way a man feels in his own skin. Many men believe that if they ever experience a dip in libido, it means something is wrong. That if they're not always in the mood, it must be a sign of weakness, of aging, of failing masculinity. But what if I told you that desire is not something that just exists? It's something that is cultivated, nurtured, and influenced by countless factors in the mind and body. One of the most powerful forces shaping male desire is stress. When a man is overwhelmed by work, by responsibilities, by unresolved emotions, his nervous system shifts into survival mode. And when the brain is focused on survival, pleasure becomes secondary. This is why stress, anxiety, and even subtle pressures can make arousal feel distant, like something just out of reach. It's not that the body isn't capable, it's that the mind is too preoccupied to allow desire to fully emerge. And then there's confidence. A man's relationship with his own body, his own sense of worth, plays a massive role in how he experiences desire. When he feels strong, attractive, and desired, arousal flows naturally. But when self-doubt creeps in, whether about his body, his performance, or his ability to satisfy a partner, desire can fade, not because the attraction isn't there, but because insecurity creates mental barriers that block pleasure. Another piece of this puzzle is emotional connection. Many people assume that men can separate emotion from sex, that they don't need intimacy to feel aroused. But that's a misconception. Studies have shown that men who feel emotionally connected to their partners experience higher levels of desire and satisfaction. When a man feels understood, valued, and safe in his connection with someone, his body responds more freely. And let's talk about novelty. The human brain is wired for excitement, for newness, for exploration. Desire thrives when there's curiosity, when there's something to anticipate, something to look forward to. This is why routine can sometimes dull libido, not because attraction disappears, but because the brain craves stimulation, unpredictability, a reason to get excited. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Desire isn't just about external stimulation. It's also about permission. Many men have internalized rules about what they're allowed to feel, what they're allowed to want. Maybe they've been conditioned to believe that certain fantasies are wrong, that asking for what they want is selfish, that they must always be in control. And over time, these silent restrictions create a tension that suppresses authentic desire. Imagine if that tension were released. Imagine if a man could fully embrace what excites him without fear, without guilt, without hesitation. Imagine if he could express his needs openly, without worrying about how they might be judged. That kind of freedom, psychologically, emotionally, can be transformative. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, I felt that pressure, I felt that disconnect, I want you to know that you are not alone. Male desire is not something that should be taken for granted, assumed to always be there, expected to function like a machine. It is personal, it is fluid, and it deserves to be understood. So what can you do? How can you nurture desire, not just as a reflex, but as something deeply fulfilling? The first step is self-awareness. Pay attention to how you feel, not just physically, but emotionally. Notice when your mind is blocking desire. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to? What thoughts, what fears, what stressors are standing in the way of my pleasure? And then there's communication. If you're in a relationship, don't be afraid to talk about what you need. The more you share, the more space you create for real, authentic connection. When you open up, when you invite your partner into your experience, desire becomes something that is not just about you. It becomes something shared, something alive. And finally, give yourself permission. Permission to explore, to express, to embrace what turns you on without shame or second guessing. Because the truth is, when you allow yourself to fully experience desire, when you stop seeing it as a duty or an expectation and start seeing it as a source of joy, everything changes. So, my love, I hope this conversation has given you something to think about, something to feel, something to take with you. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Let's keep talking. Let's keep unraveling these mysteries together, because the more we understand, the more we can truly experience. Sending you all my warmth, and until next time, trust your desires, explore your mind, and never be afraid to embrace who you truly are. A soft kiss, and I'll see you soon.